in the bus, whatever. It is must be pretty important because I traveled with this, moved it from apartment to apartment to apartment. Sound familiar? Did you know that we Americans have about 3 times the amount of the space we did 50 years ago? 3 times. So you'd think with all this extra space, we have plenty of room for all our stuff. Nope. There's a new industry in town. A $22 million, 2 per 2 square foot industry. That is personal storage. So we've got cheaper the amount of space, but we've become good shopper that we need even more space. So without this lead, lots of credit card debt, huge environmental footprint, and perhaps not coincidentally, our happiness never flatlined over the same 50 years. Well, I'm here to suggest there's a better way that less might actually equal more. I bet that most of us have experienced at some point the job class, college into dawn, traveling in a hotel room, camping, bring up basically nothing, maybe a boat, whatever it was for you. I bet, among other things, this gave you a little more freedom, maybe a little more time. So I'm going to suggest that less stuff and less space are going to equal a smaller footprint. It's actually a great way to save you some money, and it's going to give you a little more ease in your life. So I started a project called Life Edit to follow up this conversation and to find some great solution in this area. First off, crowdsourcing my 410 square foot apartment in Malta with partners, Mutual and Jutaba.com. With over 300 entries from around the world, I got it, my own little jewel box. By buying a space that was 410 square feet instead of 600, immediately I'm saving 200 grand. So, by smaller space is going to make for a smaller utility. Save some more money there, but also smaller footprint. And because it really designed around an edited set of possession, my friend stuff, it really designed for me. I'm really excited to be there. So, how can you live later? 3 main approaches. First of all, you have to edit ruthlessly. We've got to clear the artery out of our life. And that's it. The hidden ingredients. It's time for me to let go. We've got to cut the stranger out of our life. And we've got to learn to stand the inflow. We need to think before we buy. Ask yourself, is that really going to make me happier? Truly? By all means, we should buy and own some great stuff. But we want stuff that we are going to love for years, not just stuff. Secondly, I need mentor. Small is sexy. We want space efficiency. We want things that are designed how they're used the vast majority of the time, not that rare event. Why have a sick burner stove when you rarely use things? So we want things that mask, we want things that stack, and we want it digitized. You can take paperwork, books, movie, and you can make it disappear. It's magic. Finally, we want multifunctional spaces and houseware. A single bed with a toilet. A dining table becomes a bed. Safe space. A little side table stretches out to the tan. In the winning life editor scheme in rent here, we combine a moving wall with transformer furniture to get a lot out of the space. Look at the coffee table. It grows in height and width to the tan. My office falls away, easily hidden. My bed pulls out the wall with 2 fingers. Gas. Move the moving wall, have someone else gas fast, and cross my own movie theater. Well, I'm not saying that we have to live in 420 square feet, but consider the benefits of edited life. Go from 3,000 to 2,000, from 1,500 to 1,000. Most of it, maybe all of us, are here pretty happily for a bunch of days with a couple of beds. Maybe a small space, a hotel room. So when you go home and you walk through your front door, take a second and ask yourself, could do with a little life editing? Would that give me a little more freedom? Maybe a little more time? What's in the box? It doesn't really matter because I know I don't need it. What's in yours? Maybe, just maybe, less might equal more. So Let's make room for the good stuff. Thank you.